Hey friends, today I'll be talking about a dramatic film from 2021, based on a true story, called The Mad Women's Ball. You little thief. Why did you bring me here? Well, kitten. You wanted to get married, didn't you? Eugenie, together with thousands of others, mourns the passing of the great writer Hugo. During the ceremony, she experiences a sudden seizure, but manages to stop herself just in time. That evening, she arrives late for dinner and lies to her parents, saying she was at a friend's house. Only her brother Théophile sees through her, smiling quietly, knowing she's not telling the truth. To change the subject, he starts talking about the upcoming debate. Their father is asked if Eugenie can accompany her brother. But he sharply refuses, reminding everyone that no proper lady should attend such events. That night, another seizure strikes Eugenie while she's in the bathroom. She begins speaking to someone unseen, but quickly pulls herself together as her grandmother waits outside the door for their regular bedtime ritual. The next morning, Théophile prepares for the debate, only to find Eugenie already sitting in his carriage. Despite their father's strict ban, she has no intention of attending the debate. She only asks to be taken to the edge of town, so she can read and secretly smoke, far from the watchful eyes of her strict parents. Theo is annoyed, but he can't say no to his beloved sister. After dropping her off, she heads to a modest cafe, lights a cigarette, opens her book, and starts reading poetry. While glancing at the young man sitting nearby, he notices. He strikes up a conversation and lends her a book on spirits, leaving a note with his name on the first page, asking her to meet again so he can get the book back. Later that night, Eugenie reads the book aloud to her brother, as his head rests gently in her lap. The next day, the family visits the nearby estate of Théophile's bride-to-be. The marriage is incredibly important to their father. But Eugenie embarrasses the young woman, and a conflict erupts in the family. It's Christmas Eve. Eugenie and Theo decorate the tree and climb to the attic to find old ornaments. There, Eugenie confesses that her visions have changed. She no longer sees just one ghost, but many. She tells Theo not to be afraid. The book from the cafe boy said there are others like her. She's not alone. Later that evening, Eugenie visits her grandmother's room to help her into bed. But suddenly, she starts searching through the wardrobe, and finds a pendant her grandmother lost 40 years ago. When asked how she knew about it, Eugenie replies, "Grandfather told me." The next morning, her worried mother wakes her. She and the father are going back to the nearby estate, and ask Eugenie to behave herself and stay calm. She notices her mother's tears, but assumes it's just worry. As they ride in the carriage, she spots her father's travel case, and slowly realizes, they're not headed to a party. Outside the window, she sees a strange garden, full of women with vacant stares. It's a psychiatric hospital. By the time she understands, it's too late. The carriage stops at the gates. Theo, who had confessed her visions to their father, can't bear to look her in the eye. Eugenie pleads, but the orderlies take her by force. Their father signs the commitment papers. Just like that, his daughter is no longer free. Head nurse Genevieve greets the new patient coldly, warning her, disobedience here leads to solitary confinement. Eugenie is led to the main dormitory, and is horrified by what she sees, dozens of women, many clearly unwell, some reaching out to touch her. She's rescued by Louise, a patient with her own trauma, likely worsened by the asylum itself. Louise speaks non-stop, telling Eugenie she's engaged to a young doctor, Jules, and excited about the annual costume ball held for wealthy donors. During lunch, Louise introduces Eugenie to the other patients, describing each in detail. That night, Eugenie barely sleeps. The next morning, she watches as Louise is taken away by the staff, again. In a grand hall, doctors gather for a hypnosis session. Dr. Charcot steps over Louise's collapsed body, bids the others farewell, and walks out, calm as ever. Later, Dr. Jules visits Louise, alone. He dismisses the nurses. And while whispering sweet promises about their upcoming wedding at the ball, he touches her beneath her gown and pleasures himself. Meanwhile, Genevieve visits her aging father, shares a quiet lunch with him, and returns to the hospital. When she checks on Eugenie, the young woman channels the spirit of Genevieve's dead sister. The nurse refuses to listen, shaken but unwilling to believe. Eugenie is assigned cold water therapy. Ice baths meant to purge the madness. It nearly breaks her. Theo visits the asylum, desperate with guilt. He begs Genevieve to help his sister. After some hesitation, she agrees, on one condition: Eugenie must connect her with her dead sister, so they can speak one final time. Late one night, Genevieve brings Eugenie to her office. They hold a séance. At first, nothing happens. Then suddenly, her sister's voice speaks: "Your father is in danger." In the kitchen, Genevieve runs home, and finds her father collapsed. When he asks how she knew, she finally tells him. But he only scolds her, calls her insane. Later, after another hypnosis session, Louise suffers a stroke. One side of her body stops working. Eugenie can't stay silent any longer. She confronts the doctors, accusing them of cruelty and abuse. For this, she's declared dangerous and locked away, alone, in a tiny cell under the care of the brutal Jean. Meals are slid through a hatch. Sunlight barely reaches the room. One day, Eugenie tells Jean she's spoken to her dead mother and knows all her secrets. Jean chokes her, only releasing when Eugenie nearly passes out. Genevieve, tormented by guilt, finally makes a plan. She convinces Dr. Charcot that Eugenie has been broken, that she's harmless now. He agrees to move her back to the main ward, just in time for the masquerade ball. Louise is now in a wheelchair, but still clings to dreams of marriage. That night, Eugenie reads a secret note from Genevieve, hidden in her belongings. Theo receives a similar message, an invitation. At the ball, the elite mingle with patients, laughing, flirting, some even preying on the vulnerable. Theo finds his sister and asks her to dance. Jean watches them with suspicion. In the chaos, Genevieve leads the pair to her office, dresses Eugenie in plain clothes, and sneaks them toward the exit. Elsewhere, Dr. Jules wheels Louise into a private room, muttering about their ceremony. With no way to resist, she is assaulted. But before he can finish, an older patient, locked up for decades for stabbing her cheating husband, bursts into the room and beats him senseless. Jean realizes Eugenie is gone and gives chase. She raises the alarm, but Genevieve gets them out just in time. Outside, a carriage is waiting. A year later, Eugenie writes a letter to her friend. She is free. She's helping others like her, no longer hiding. Genevieve reads it on a bench, in the very same garden. But now, she's no longer a nurse. She's a patient. That was the price of Eugenie's freedom. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think of the film in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.